Hello Cherries fans, it's fixture release day. Everyone gets well excited about this. I don't know about you though, no one seems as enthusiastic this time round. There's been no leaks, or not many of them. I think Mark Goldridge was posting a few fixtures out about 20 minutes ago, but nothing involving Bournemouth, so we've got no idea who we're playing so far. You can hear the WhatsApps coming through. I don't know whether this is anything legitimate or not. Oh, by the way, 8:58. So this is a live reaction that we're doing, but we've recorded it so that we can put some nice graphics on afterwards. I think the Euros is probably another reason why people aren't as fussed about the fixture release, because everything's going on. There's like 3 matches a day at the moment, and at the end of the day we play each other twice. But it's always interesting because you always want to see where you are and who you're playing on the first game of the season, the last game, Boxing Day, seeing matches against your local rivals, and also any fixture horror spells that we might have as well. So we're just having a look now. Any second we can refresh. It's 8:59, not going to be there yet. In front of me is a spreadsheet, right? And I put together all the teams we're playing next season and also the position that they finished in the league, so we can give it a sort of difficulty rating. Now, just so you're aware, we put Leicester in at 18th. Of course, they won the championship. Ipswich in at 19th, and then Saints 20th. So for each month we can work out a sort of average. How bad is this month? Also, we've done the total round trip mileage as well. We've had some pretty nasty away midweek trips last season. I think one of the longest ones of which was that Man United, or was that the season before? No, Man United was on a Saturday. The season before, it was a midweeker. This time I think Wolves was the longest midweek away trip. Be interesting to see how far we've got to travel on the road. Of course, we're very much manipulated and controlled by Sky, Amazon, TNT, all that lot in terms of what fixtures are going to be shown when. So I'm sure that this is not going to be the definitive fixtures, and also there will be postponements as well. It's also worth noting that European Cup competition and domestic cup competition will also maybe change these fixtures as well. Right, it is 9 o'clock and I want to see who Bournemouth are playing. So let's see the fixture list. Can we get it up on Twitter? Right, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to say, like every podcast, this episode of Back of the Net is sponsored by Green King Sport, where football is more than a game. You should make Green King your go-to destination for Euro 2024. You can watch every game on their big screens together with their delicious food and refreshing beverages, and with over 900 sports pubs dotted around the UK, chances are you're within walking distance of your local Green King. Of course, let's be honest, watching football's way better with friends and family, so get the squad together, cheer on your home nation. Come on, England! And you know what? Maybe we could go all the way. You never know. If you download the Green King Sports app, one thing that's quite handy is they've got a sweepstake. You select which team that you support, but also after that, you get a spin to select your team in the sweepstake. I got Switzerland. They opened the Euro 2024 with a win. That said, it doesn't matter whether they win, lose or draw, because on the day that your team is playing, check the offers section in the Green King Sport app and you'll get a free drink in there just because your team is playing. So obviously, the more they go on in the competition, the better it is for you, because you can get yourself a pint, a soft drink, a glass of wine, or whatever is shown in the app just because they're playing. So download the app to enjoy some exclusive competitions and discounts whenever there's a game on. Right, back to the reaction. I've got it! We've got Forest away! That's all right, isn't it? I mean, based on how we've played there in previous seasons, you'd have to take that. Eddie Howe is next, visiting Bournemouth, sunny Bournemouth in the summer. God, he's going to absolutely love it. He's going to get some good memories and he's going to want to come home. But we've got Iriola now, so it doesn't matter. Everton away. That's a meaty away game as well. But look, let's just flick on to Boxing Day to see who we've got. We're home against Palace. Last season it was against Fulham, won 3-0. We've got another London side visiting us, so that's good. Last game of the season's at home against Leicester. We have not had that so far. So I'm just looking through my pre-prepared stats. And in terms of home games in the Premier League, of course, the very first Premier League, this is our 8th campaign. We've had 7. Home against Villa, home against Man United, away against West Brom, home against Cardiff, home against Sheffield United, home against Villa, home against West Ham. This is only our 2nd away opening match of the Premier League season. Interesting. And we've never had a home game to finish it. This time we have, because on the first season we had Man United, do you remember? A bomb scare gate. Leicester, Burnley, Palace, Everton again, and then Chelsea as well. Now, I'm just looking through a few hot takes on Twitter and my own observations. It seems like the furthest midweek away game is going to be London and Brighton. So that is a good thing. That is really good. In terms of any dodgy spells, we'll come to this on the graphics. There aren't many, apart from at the very end. Let's go through then, month by month, as these fixtures are just placed onto the BBC website. Here we go then. So the graphics are ready. And I've got this spreadsheet where I've got the data now entered in, and we can see the average league positions. So as you can see there, we got Forest on the opening day, Newcastle United at home, Everton away. The average opposition league position for those three, based on last season's position, is 13. The total round trip mileage, 910 there. Let's go into September. Very few fixtures, it seems, as the season opens, but obviously there are international fixtures going on as well, I'm sure, and also the opening rounds of the League Cup as well. But look at this, Chelsea at home, Liverpool away. Not particularly great. Is that 2 Merseyside trips in our first 3 games of the season? Yeah, I think it is. Oh, that is not ideal. And then Saints at home, so that certainly makes it a little bit more palatable. But the average opposition league position there suggests that, yeah, it's going to be a tricky month, 9.67. The total round trip mileage at 524. Again, not many fixtures in October. Leicester, Arsenal at home. Arsenal always seem to visit us when it's sunny days, and I expect we'll still have a bit of sun by October as well. And Villa away. Oh, that's not overly great. Look at that. 8th is the average league position for those teams. Ooh. Leicester could be a bit of a banana skin as well, but we'll see about that. In November, Manchester City visit us on the 2nd. Elsewhere, Brentford away, Brighton at home, Wolves away. Chance to build up some momentum there. So I'm seeing 2 little spells of fixtures. The opening set of fixtures, I think, August into September. There are some winnable games there. And back here into November as well. So I haven't really seen any horror runs so far. 10.5 is the average opposition league position for November. And in December, of course, this is where it gets really clustered with games. And as you can see there, Spurs, that little asterisk indicates that it's an evening match. We've got them at home under the lights. That could be tasty. West Ham away after Ipswich. West Ham at home after Ipswich away. Manchester United. Could it be 3 points there as well? Was that December we played them last time when it was 3-0? I think it might have been. I love the fact that we're playing a couple of London games. That's usually the case between Christmas and New Year. A lot of miles to travel, 1,090. In January, there's another away game there on an evening. That's Chelsea, so that's, you can stomach that. But I think that's our only back-to-back fixtures, is it? Chelsea and Newcastle. So, I mean, Chelsea's a train ride away, not too bad. But then the killer of Newcastle just a few days later. 902 miles to travel that month as well. But you've got to take advantage of those home games, you'd have to think, in January. No horror spells yet. February, Liverpool at home, Saints away. Again, pretty good. Brighton, another midweek away fixture. That's on the 25th, so we've done well with that. Let's head into March, where it looks like there's only 2 games shown there. Spurs and Brentford into April. What we got? 5 games. Ipswich at home. That's a midweeker. West Ham away. Fulham at home. Crystal Palace away. So we're getting through those London sides there. The average opposition league position for that 11.8, and as we head into May now, I've been reading tweets about this and oh my god. So yeah, when you look at the end of April and the start of May, 4 out of the last 5 teams that we have to face are in European competition and are your archetypal top 6 clubs, you could say. Aston Villa, of course, are not in the big 6, but they might as well be now. Leicester, I suppose, is our saving grace. You can see by that stat on the right there, 6.25 the average opposition league position. Wow. Okay, what do I think of that? Okay, so apart from the end, no horror runs, you would have to say. At the end of the season, when we do play those teams, I think the saving grace is that a lot of them will be maybe still in European competition, or at least they'll probably be involved in the business end of the domestic cup competition, so therefore it's not overly bad. But let's face it, if we're struggling for points by the time we face those teams, it's clear that we haven't had a good season. So ideally the points will be in the bag before that. What else have we got? Rob on Twitter has got his, I don't know how Rob does this so quickly. He's got fixture difficulty and he's done his spreadsheet already. And to me, it just looks like a load of dots here. But you can see the easier games versus the harder games. In the first half, it seems, swings about a bit. And then it settles down through Christmas somewhat. And then the second half is pretty balanced until that ending. We've also got, that Rob posted, the opponents for the first 5 games and the difficulty rating through Opta analysis as well. And Bournemouth there look as though they're 7th in the table in terms of how difficult the fixtures are. Now, in terms of the fixture difficulty, there are also the things like the baseline tracker that you'll have heard us go on about, which awards you points for beating the big 6, home or away, but also any side away from home as well. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of stats they've got. But the average opponent rating there is 87.7. So the take-home points is that we are away versus Forest. We've had a pretty good run against them at the City Ground, you'd have to say. So I'd be interested to know what their fans have got to say about that. Home versus Leicester, nice way to end it though, and we'll probably need that break after the 4 games that we've got preceding that are all against teams that are going to be competing at the top of the season. But also Boxing Day at home as well. There you go. Those are the fixtures. What do I think? I think that we could be playing each team twice, but from the naked eye, it actually doesn't look as though we've got any spells where I think, God, that's a terrible month. We should have it all in the bag, you would think, by April. Therefore, whatever happens with the remaining games, who knows? But yeah, pretty happy with that. And in terms of the away back-to-backs, it's not overly great. I think some Cherries fans look at the fixtures. I was just reading on our AFCB podcast WhatsApp group, and Neil Dawson put, why does the Premier League fixture list always look scary? Every year I look and I think 20 points. Yeah, perhaps. This is going to be really interesting to see what happens next season. Right, you probably want to know where the tier list is. Do you remember last season, myself and Tom got together and we worked out where we thought Bournemouth were getting the points next season? Tomorrow, there's going to be a video on this channel which lists every side, and we've got it shown. 0 points, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 points, all 6. Where do you think we'll be getting the points? And we'll compare it to what we did last season as well and see how good or bad we were. That video is coming out then, and also it'll be good to get Tom's reaction of those fixtures. But for now, this has been a solo video. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know you missed Tom. Sorry about that. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. By the way, unlucky Forest. You'll probably win now.